Now, I will say this, that as opposed to most of the marketers out there, I actually test stuff. I try to tell people the good, the bad, and the ugly of it, but as opposed to, again, a lot of marketers will just send out all kinds of emails. They've never even really seen it. They've seen the demos, they've seen the sales videos, right? But they've never touched it. They wouldn't know what it was, if it walked up and bit them. Let's jump out of here, and I'm going to give you a couple links to go check. Because they're probably in your handout as well. But so here's what I've been playing with. Essentially what it does is it allows you to take a video clip or an image, okay, video clips or images, and swap out the face. It uses artificial intelligence to pick out a face, and then you tell it what you want to replace it with, and bada boom, bada bang, it does it. They kind of call it Deepfake. This is a fairly decent fake, not like some of the, super advanced AI stuff where they'll make movies and won't even need actors anymore. Seriously. They'll just need faces. Here's just one kind of example. Anybody know who this dude is? Who knows who that is? Who's going to date their age? And tell me who this guy is. It's Sam Kinison, Jefferson says. Of course it is, right? So here is one of my tests, and I took this video, and if we just kind of scrub along here, it's basically Sam Kinison singing an Elvis ballad, right? But then at a certain point, let's see if I can find it real quick, right about here, I switch over to the FaceSwap aspect. And basically, what you'll see is that it did a superbly decent job of taking my face and put it into his video here. Now, a couple of things that I'll note is, of course, that notice the neck here, right? I'm not quite as big as Sam Kinison. Also the hair, I got Sam's hair, but one more thing that kind of struck me as pretty advanced is the microphone. If you kind of watch as it pops through here, see, the mic goes in front of the face. And normally AI would just choke to death on such a thing, right? But this was smart enough to really kind of figure it out. And then, of course, by the end, we're doing a whole Sam Kinison thing, which, if you know Sam Kinison, looks a lot like that. Right? So the thing I like about it, though, it just was fun and easy to do. You tell it which video clip you want to use and what face image you want to put on top. Or you can actually go the other way around, too. You can say, I want this still image to have my video, my lips and stuff moving and voice talking on somebody else's body or face, right? So there's just a myriad of ways to do it, and then you can do the same thing with images and swap them out. And then there's a couple of other things with some of their other products. I didn't really check those. The other huge thing here is this right here. Remove video background. How many of you have a green screen? How many of you hate to use a green screen? How many of you have had poor to marginal results with a green screen? It's got to be free of wrinkles. It's got to be a certain distance away from you. It's got to be lit properly. You got to be lit properly. It's just a pain in the ass, period. Oh! This actually does a superb job of taking a video and removing the background, letting you swap it out for any other background that you might want to use. I think I have an example of that. Okay, so here, and by the way, it works with cartoon characters too. So let's take a look at this. First of all, here is a cartoon character that I exported from Create Studio. Right? I love Create Studio. Cheat cheat. So it's on a white background. Now, they have Create Studio as scenes and stuff like that, or it could be any other color. It doesn't really matter. So all I did was I said, all right, FaceSwap, take this video and swap out the background for a picture that I uploaded. and this is what it looks like. Okay, this is green screened out. But if you have a good quality video and that you're not, in front of the wildest background possible, certainly a more solid background is preferable, but this is huge, right? So I think this is probably one of the main reasons a lot of people are going to want it. Okay, I like that. That's all fun and good. Let's take a look at another test here. Okay, so here, maybe some of you folks know who this might be. Well, it's my face on Rodney Dangerfield's body doing a stand-up routine on Johnny Carson. So here's a couple of points here as well. Is there anybody in the world that jerks around more than Rodney Dangerfield? That gets more bug-eyed, or, and you can just like pop through here, and he's all over the place, right? He's doing all kinds of stuff. All right, so that's one thing that I wanted that to happen. This is a clip from The Tonight Show from, I don't know, the 70s. So it's low res to start with. Okay, let's see what else. The background you can see is really, again, a artificial intelligence nightmare. But I mean, it's very clean. It does a really good job of what it's supposed to do, considering what it has to work with here. And this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to push it. Also, my picture that I swapped in here, I'm wearing glasses. Notice that I get a few artifacts every now and again, like right here, as to where my glasses are, but the stupid AI took the glasses out for the most part. So that's a good one. And here he's kind of being still straight onto the camera. That's where you're going to get your best results. This is awesome. I'm just saying. I think that's a really good way to go. And then here, for those of you who are Pulp Fiction fans, this is one of Marcellus Wallace's business associates, and he's got a question for Brad and his Big Kahuna Burger. That's something I did. Now, I wouldn't recommend necessarily using copyrighted material like this, clearly. I did these just as fun tests, and you'll even notice that I think they're unlisted, right? So I just wanted to see what it could do with some clips that I grabbed. Okay, now let's kind of wrap this thing in thought up. I'll put the FaceSwap link in the chat box. If you guys have questions, go ahead and pop them in. It's on a launch special. If you're going to do it, I would do it now, because it's not going to get any cheaper. Of course, there's lots of offers. The front end offer is, I recommend the commercial version. It's like $47 or something. And it works on a credit system. I think you get like 40 credits, and a credit is one render. 40 credits and 10 credits just to test stuff. I promise you, once you get in there, you're going to burn up a few credits just playing around and testing stuff. You can make, like, realistically, I'd say 40 videos a month, and that's a pretty good thing. Here's one of their samples of what it does. There's lots of business reasons that you might want to do such a thing. I know a few people that make videos for clients, and some of them have spokesperson videos, they're called. Right, so there's tons of these things out there. You can get a spokesperson video like this gal here talking about a car dealership, and they film it, they're professionally filmed on a green screen, probably, that are generic enough, that any car dealership could probably use it. So what they do in a case like this is first swap the face on the gal, and this could be your face, or someone that works at this dealership's face, just their face. You don't have to film them. You just need to take a picture of their face. And now all of a sudden the spokesperson is the person from the facility here speaking, right? And so you swap the face first, and then what you do is you swap out the background for the new location. Very interesting. probably a couple of good business models that could be done there, right? So here, I'll just give you a couple of kind of hints and tips thing here. Let's go here. Let's go to just the image face swap. Okay, so here, basically, you just browse for your image or drag it and drop it. Okay, this is going to be the source, right? And then for the front end only, you can have up to 2 faces. So maybe yourself or a couple of you or somebody else. But you can have 2, and I believe that you can delete as long as you don't have more than 2 at a time. So add your source image and then the picture of the face that you want to swap in this image. Okay, we're doing an image face swap here. So let me just kind of show you something like that might look like. So here, using face swap, I have 2 images. I have Mr. Spock and I have this pretty lady. So it depends on how you go ahead and do it. So if Mr. Spock is the source and pretty lady is the face that I've decided that I want to swap in, this is the kind of thing that you get. You get Lady Spock. So kind of notice that source means that certain attributes are going to end up in the final result. What is he wearing? What is his hair like? What are his ears like? And then here, all it really does is take like the facial features and put it in here. So another kind of interesting thing is that if you notice, Mr. Spock is a little wrinkly here. This is a little older picture of him. And this girl, obviously, or notably, I guess, has I would call a rather flawless complexion. And she's very young. And what you'll see is that it blends those 2 together as best it can. It get a little rough here around some of the jowl action. And I think, maybe if you even ran it again, it might be a little different. But another thing that I thought was kind of interesting is notice that it didn't really grab Mr. Spock's eyebrows, which is really what I kind of wanted. All right, so that's all well and good. Now, the situation, it gets kind of reversed here, and not always in a pleasant, good way, when you take one image and make it the source, and then swap in a Mr. Spock face. Okay, and so this is Spock Lady as opposed to Lady Spock. I'm also going to try taking a talking video, so me talking on video, and swapping it onto, Jackson over top of a $20 bill, or the Mona Lisa, something like that. Right, so that should be fun.